Hi everyone! Today we're going to be talking about rules. So rules are extremely important for us to follow. They keep us safe and they tell us how we're supposed to behave in certain places. You have rules that you follow whenever you're at home. You have rules that you follow whenever you're out in public, and you have rules that you follow at school. Today we're going to read a story called That Rule Doesn't Apply to Me. It's about a boy who thinks that there's just too many rules and he doesn't have to follow some of them. So we're going to find out why it's important to follow these rules and what he thinks in the end of the book. My name is Norman David Edwards, but everybody calls me Noodle. Sometimes I get into trouble because I don't follow the rules. But I think there are way too many rules in our world, and some of them don't even apply to me. His shirt says, "Say no to rules." We have rules that say you can't eat in here, and rules for don't pick your nose. Rules for people who drive. Why should I worry about those? At school, we have rules for everything. No hitting, no butting, don't cheat, don't run in the halls, you must raise your hand. Hey, Noodle, please stay in your seat. Look at him, he's sitting on his desk. At home, I have a gazillion rules. No, Noodle, you can't have a pet mouse. I can't have friends over when my mom's not home, and I can't wear my shoes in the house. I can't have my computer or my video games in my room overnight. It's 10 p.m., Noodle. Bring your fun stuff to my room. Mom, that just isn't right. We have rules that say, brush your teeth twice a day and put your dishes in the sink. I have rules for every ounce of my life, and I think that most of them stink. Yesterday at school, when it was time to line up for lunch, I walked over to stand by my friends in line. Teacher, Noodle butted. Noodle, we have a rule for cutting in line, and you just broke that rule. But that rule doesn't apply to me. I need to stand by these guys, or I'll end up sitting by the girls at lunch. Noodle, oh, rats. I ended up sitting next to Mary Gold. During social studies, we were having a discussion about elections. Why can't kids vote? I asked. Noodle, we have a rule that says if you want to say something, you need to raise your hand and wait your turn. You just broke that rule because you just interrupted Rignold. Actually, I only bent it, and that rule doesn't really apply to me because last week you told me that I need to get more involved with social studies, and so that's what I'm doing. Noodle, oh, rats. I had to write a sorry note to Rignold. During math, I logged onto my fantasy football website to check my score. Teacher, Noodle surfing. Noodle, we have a rule that when we use our tablets for math, the only website you can be on is our district's math site. And you just broke that rule. But that rule doesn't really apply to me because I'm actually doing math. I'm analyzing my football statistics to see if I can pull out a win. Noodle. Oh, rats. Now I can't use my tablet in math for 2 weeks straight. Mary Gold has a tattle tongue. Then my day got even worse because my teacher gave us homework in writing, my least favorite subject. Class, tonight your assignment will be to write a poem from you to me. Do your best and take your time and try to get words that rhyme. You get to choose what you put in your poem. You can start in it now and finish it at home. Oh, rats. When I got home, I ate my snack and headed to my room to work on my poem. My mom has this rule that I have to get all of my homework done before I can play with my friends or play my video games. I bet I'm the only kid on the planet that has that rule. All of my friends get to do their homework whenever they want, as long as they get it done. Noodle, you can't take your video game into your room until your homework is finished. You know what the rules are. But that rule doesn't really apply to me, Mom, because my video game isn't even turned on. Well, I could agree with you, Noodle, but then we'd both be wrong. Rats. I sat in my room for about 112 years trying to figure out what to write. And then I got a really, really great idea. I'm done. Can I go play now? Yep. But can you read your poem to me first? Sure. Rules Stink, a poem by Noodle. Roses are red, violets are blue. I wish we didn't have rules at school. You cannot run or jump in the halls. Be quiet in the library. Don't write on the walls. No video games are allowed at school. That makes me mad. I can't stand that rule. Spit out your gum, Noodle. At school, you can't chew it. Show your steps on your math assignment so I can see you've worked through it. Don't push, don't shove. Take turns in PE. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Noodle, listen to me. Be on time, don't be tardy, and please always share. Raise your hand and be patient. Don't lean back in your chair. Rules really stink. That's all I can say. It would be so cool to have a rule-free day. The end. Noodle, you do realize that having rules is a good thing, don't you? Some rules, maybe, but Mom, seriously, feel like grown-ups stay up all night thinking up rules to make my life miserable. Rules aren't made to hurt you, Noodle. They're made to protect you. Think about it. If you had a rule-free day at school, it might turn out to be a disaster. Your teacher wouldn't know when to start because no one would be there on time. Kids could cut right in front of you when you were standing in line. Whenever you try to talk, someone might interrupt you. Bullying would be okay. Then what would you do? Kids could cheat off of your paper and your teachers wouldn't care. You might end up stepping in somebody's gum and someone might pull your hair. You can lean back in your chair if you wanted, but if you fell, it wouldn't matter. You wouldn't be able to think in the library because there'd be way too much chatter. Video games would start playing you and screen time would take over your life. Food would get thrown in the lunchroom and nothing would feel right. Everyone could wear what they wanted and kids could write on the walls. School would feel like an unsafe place and you wouldn't like it at all. Rules protect you and help you stay organized. They help you more than you know. If you didn't have rules in your life, you can't accomplish your goals. I know you don't like to follow the rules, but I want you to stop and think. If everyone could do whatever they wanted, your life would really stink. I guess I never really thought about it like that, I said. I went back into my room and I fixed my poem, just a little bit. And then I went outside to play. Today, just before school got out, I got to read my poem out loud during reading or writing. Rules Stink, a poem by Noodle. Roses are red, violets are blue. I wish we didn't have rules at school. You cannot run or jump in the halls. Be quiet in the library. Don't write on the walls. No video games are allowed at school. That makes me mad. I can't stand that rule. Spit out your gum, Noodle. At school, you can't chew it. Show your steps on your math assignment so I can see you've worked through it. Don't push. Don't shove. Take turns in PE. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Noodle, listen to me. Be on time. Don't be tardy. And please always share. Raise your hand and be patient. Don't lean back in your chair. Rules really stink. That's all I can say. It would be so cool to have a rule-free day. Not the end. What do you mean by not, Noodle? Well, after I thought about it, I realized that rules are made to help us, not hurt us. And if we had a rule-free day at school, everybody could do whatever they wanted, and school would feel like an unsafe place. Excellent answer, Noodle. Class, tonight's homework is to study your spelling words and to write 2 complete sentences for each word. We should have a rule that says teachers can't give kids homework, I said. Noodle, you know how the homework rules work. 1 subject a night for 25 minutes. Well, I wish that rule didn't apply to me. Homework stinks. All right, guys. So we learned that some of these rules, although Noodle didn't like them, he did realize that they're all supposed to help him because rules make school a safe place. So your project for this lesson is to fill out a sheet that I have on Seesaw, and you're going to write 4 rules, and you're going to write how those 4 rules are supposed to help you. All right. Bye, everybody.